Hello and welcome to today's session. We've got the DAX. You might notice that I started a new account because basically yesterday had a bit of a run-in with a trade, went short, and basically the market powered up. I was really hoping to target this gap, but just didn't work out. So got in and out at the wrong times and that kind of thing. So very frustrating, given that we were only a couple of hundred away from passing, but we'll have another go. So you can see here, we sort of headed towards the previous day's high. Just made the wrong decisions yesterday. So this is the day here. The market powered towards the gap. Where are we? So 10 o'clock candle. So we had a bit of a spike up, didn't make it. Very good sell. So I was in short, but yeah, basically just the wrong timing overall. And then the market almost hit it. I was quite convinced that the market was going to hit that gap. So I got in again, sort of up here, and yeah, just the market just continued higher. So again, that buy bias would have worked out very nicely, but no real position to take a buy from, in my opinion. It just wasn't the day for it. So also got in too heavy, made a few mistakes, and yeah, that just goes to show, I guess, mentality and sticking to the plan is very important. Today we've got the close gap down lower, so potentially the market should hopefully drift down and hit that previous day's close. We do have an extreme gap, unfilled gap, and a close gap down below as well. So eventually the market's likely to fill these two prices. This one here, so the previous day's high from yesterday and the previous day's close from yesterday as well. So those are some unfilled gaps that weren't filled during the trading session. So you can take note of those and sort of form a bit of a target if you want to. What I'm expecting is probably, look, I think these triple bands, so you got 1, 2, 3 bands, we'll see if they hold. We're trading just above the 24,000 on a CFD chart and about 80 points above the 24,000 big round number on the futures. I'm going to be trading the mini DAX. I think the micros are maybe a bit too small. So we'll see how that goes. We'll have a good go at it. Thanks for joining again, Christopher. Great to see you back. Hopefully you did okay yesterday. But yeah, you'll notice that I do have a new account. I went and got another one. Just a 25k starting from scratch, and we'll see how we go today. As for the multiple time frames, the monthly, kind of in the middle of nowhere. You know, we haven't moved for, like, this is almost unheard of, this kind of price action. You know, you go back over the years, it's very rare that we have some sort of a situation where it's just plateaued. It's almost like somebody's not letting it drop. You know, the market's selling off, but somebody's just buying and plateauing it out, or something like that. So something funny is going on with the DAX. But we've got some ranging on the monthly, I guess, in a sense. When that breaks, you know, there's probably going to be some serious volatility going on. On the weekly, very similar. So yeah, we've just had no movement. So nothing there for the Bollinger Bands. Got the daily, we've got 2 minutes to go, guys, but the daily we broke down below that lower Bollinger Band, so hopefully we're kind of in the middle right now though. So again, nothing there. Looks like the 4 hour is starting to turn down, so potentially we'll have a down day today, or at least for the start of the session potentially. On the 1 hour, very central, so nothing much there. 30 minute, similar. 15 minute, we are outside the lower bands on the 15 minute, and we've got the 5. So we've got 1 minute and a half till the open. I'll be watching the order flow quite closely here. I've given up on the micros just for today, see how we go. So I can trade up to 4 contracts on this Apex Trader Funding Challenge. And we will see how we go. Look, while I think the market should go down, I am a little bit hesitant to take a short position. So if I can see it in the volume, we get enough bid side activity and enough downward pressure, I might put a contract or two in and try and target this close gap. But if I see the potential to go buy, that might be a better option. Yeah, thanks, Christopher. We'll see how we go. It'll have to be really quick finger on the trigger, I think, in and out. If it's not working out, it just got to jump straight out. And we'll just see how we go, I guess. It's similar to trading 5 contracts of the micros, which would have worked out okay if I only used one quantity. But then also it's about getting into the right position for the order. If we drop down really quick at the open in the next few seconds, maybe we can get a good buy entry in. So anyway, fingers on the trigger here. We'll see if we can get a good sell. I've hit the button to short. We'll see if we can just... I'm just going to do real quick ones like that. So I've hit exit already. If we get another pullback, I'll get back in. I'll get back in now. So $15 up. See if we can push down from here. I'm just going to exit again. So $50 up. Just going a bit faster pace, really quick on the trigger. I think we're going to pull back a little bit here. See if I sell it again. We might continue higher though. All right, exit again. All right, so we're up $70. So that's pretty good. I think, so the target for me, I guess, if I can hit $75 a day, that was across 20 accounts, for example. If we get fully funded on Apex, 20 accounts, even on the minimum, and we hit 75 a day on each account, we're sitting at, it ends up being like $27,000 in the bank after your 90%, or you give 10% or 20% to them. I can't remember which one, but yeah, really good outcome if you can get fully funded, get real consistent with your trading. And I guess that's my goal here with this channel, is showing you my experience and my, learning curve with the order flow and trading futures and that kind of thing, using the DAX because that's what I know, and see if we can get that consistency up. And obviously I share with my experience as well. Like yesterday, had a terrible trading session. Just made the wrong decisions after wrong decision. Went in too heavy. Exited too soon multiple times, and that caused frustration. And then I traded just the wrong way. So and that's why I'm starting again. So $70 up right now. Just trying to look at the volume here and see if we can get a bit of a picture as to what's going on. That looks like buying to me, but it's just in a funny position. So, maybe it's similar to yesterday, where the market will kind of come close to the close, but not actually fill it. So it's really hovering around. I don't want to get in long just yet, though. But it's probably going to take off by the looks. So it's kind of, it is going long. It looked like it was going long. It's just not a good place to buy, I think, in my opinion, because you've got the close gap right here, and that's such a good target for people to try and chase. So, there might be an opportunity to get short here again. Also, I don't know if you guys have any delay with your feed. So obviously when I see a price movement, I'm saying things, but I don't know if there's any delay for you guys, or is it pretty quick? Like, are you seeing the same price feed that I'm seeing, or is it very close to? We had another push down there, but it wasn't enough to keep it low. if we can get a really good solid push down and then a big order on either side, the bid or the ask, I think, it could be an indication that's when I look to buy. So I'm just waiting for that indication. Just not seeing it quite yet. Here we go, big push down, very thin volume. We need a big order to come in and say, right, the big guys are here, let's push the market the other way. Look, I'm going to buy just one contract here, see how we go. Yeah, I'll just jump out. All right, so $80. We've hit the $75 target, so that's good. I didn't want to hold that because we haven't quite filled the gap, I think. Let's just test that. It's still about 10 points away from the gap. So I wouldn't class that as filled. I wouldn't class yesterday's extreme gap as filled either. So, you know, maybe there's another opportunity to get short here again, but it's really sort of getting a little bit risky, I think, because, you know, is the market saying that's filled? I don't know. That's the other thing, is the futures prices and the futures feed versus the CFDs are a little bit different. So maybe on the futures where the big money is, they're looking at that and saying, right, that's filled. Thus the market's turned around. So maybe that happened yesterday as well. Anyway, we've got a big ask order there. We'll moderate for the new candle, 7. If we can get some thin volume, push right down, I'll be looking to get long. But we need some really good push down and then a massive order to come in and say, right, this is where the market's shifting. Also, guys, I do put these live sessions in a playlist, so you can go back and watch the old ones, see what I say, have a look at the outcome for each session. It's like a daily, I guess, repertoire of what's happened. Really good to, at least, even if you don't necessarily listen to what I'm saying, you can see what the market does at the open every day. And I think that's a really good sort of indication of, like, you know, you're able to see what happens with both the price, the rejections, the order flow, and you can sort of play it back and say, right, well, what would have been the best thing to do in this situation? And you can go back through all the different days. We're about to break low. So if we break, then that's great, but sort of bounced off. Really want this market to just push down a little bit further and give us the go ahead to go long. We're sitting at $80 profit, so if we did that for 20 days, we'd be sitting pretty nicely. But as we saw yesterday, it's not ideal to sort of sit in these accounts for too long. Just because of, I guess, mentality, that sort of thing. Eventually, you kind of do the wrong thing. Look, I really want to get long, but it's just taking off now. Yeah, it's going the other way. I really want it to push down a little further before I get long, though. 10 contracts there. Hopefully that's an ask order pushing the market down, but I'm not sure. That it's look, I've hit buy. That could be a flaw there. So we've got 2 weeks. Somebody's coming in and potentially buying up the market here. If we do come all the way back, look, I'm not too sure here. Fingers on the trigger just to close this out if it doesn't seem to be working. What's going on here? So pushed up a little bit. It's not quite decisive just yet. This looks like buying to me, but then you've got the full contracts. I don't think there's enough buying here to hold it up, so I probably want to get out of this actually. Do I hit the button? I'm not sure. There we go. Look, I'm gonna hit exit. So we're up $100 now. Pretty good. So, 100 euro, and that's 111 USD after the fees. So we're sitting pretty nicely for day one. Just hitting the button real quick, in and out, based off, I guess, gut feeling. and obviously the order flow and position of the structure of the pivot points. So that's obviously very important, but the difference here is I guess I'm trading a bit more actively. I'm not letting things run. And ideally, once I got a live account and once we're funded, you can kind of let the profits run. You just got to watch that trailing drawdown. But once you're up above that $100 mark over the 25-100 type thing, once you get past that level, you don't have the trailing drawdown anymore. So you can just basically play it out to that base level. So just bear with me one sec, guys. So, all right, we've got some activity here. We'll see if that's an ask limit. It'd be really good if we can get one more push down, because we're right on that 24,000 mark. I think, where are we sitting? We're very central. Look, this market just hasn't moved for so long on that monthly chart. It's very, very odd activity. I'm just going to have a look at the UK. Things are very bullish at the moment. In the Eurozone anyway. So we'll go back monthly, 5 minute. Okay. Now that was another mistake that I made yesterday. I just want to reiterate. I had 10 contracts up in the quantity. So that really kind of threw me. I'm going to look for an opportunity to get long here, because I think this is maybe, we've had 2 down weeks. I think this is probably going to go up. I'm going to hit it. I'm in. I wonder if there's a bit of a delay though. I don't know if you can let me know in the comments. Is there much of a delay when it comes to come on. If we can break up here, I'll be very happy. So position 1, so I've got 1 unit long. To put a stop loss in, I'm just going to hit exit. I don't like the look of this. 110, so 120 USD, that's all right. Here we go. That's the reaction I was after. Okay. Look, if we break this little zone here, I think we might be on for a decent rally. If we can get a nice pullback, that would be ideal, but the market may not be so generous. Here we go. That would have been an excellent trade, but I didn't have the tenacity to hang in there. Obviously, with that downside wick, we've got the close gap down here, so I was a bit scared. Looks like buying coming in now. Maybe a bit of selling up top. Here's the ask limit. So hopefully, no, I think this is just going up. So love to see a really big push down, fill that close, and then get long again. But I think this might be too late. So we're 12 minutes into the trading session. I don't know if I've got too many more decisions in me here, so unless we get a bit of momentum either way, I don't like trading right into a level. So from this position, I don't really want to buy because we may start to turn back down. This is the previous day's high right here. We've got the triple banding, so we've got the R1 and the breakout long. So, yeah, look, this, are we going to turn around from here? I hope so, because I don't want to buy from this point. We're facing these levels directly. Look, the market can always just brush through them, of course, but from the basis of seeing them turn around so much, it's very hard to buy into that. So we've had some thin volume there and rejected off that previous day's high. We've got some thicker volume here indicating that perhaps something is happening in the market. And then I'd love to see this market just push right down, say to the pivot, followed by a big bid or ask order down on the pivot to indicate that we're going to turn back around and come long. So look, I don't want to short from here either, because often the market does power up and the DAX is naturally bullish, as I always say. So we kind of want the market to pull away from this structure here, give us a better entry, and then we can go long. So it's more of just a waiting game, hoping the market will give us something of value. We're already up 120 USD for the day, so 110 is the currency that I'm trading in, which is the DAX, or the euro. So the euro converted to USD is less any fees as 121. So I guess quite a good day, given that the market hasn't really done too much at all. We haven't rejected off any levels. This has purely just been watching the order flow really, and knowing that, you know, we got close to the close gap. We did this same structure yesterday where we kind of came down to that extreme gap and then just didn't quite fill it and went up for the rest of the day. So we're kind of having a similar reaction here. I'd just love to see this actually fill this gap just for today. But look, trading's a patience game, and we got some good moves at the open, but very quick trading. So, you know, it's very hard to replicate this kind of profit because I was in and out super quick. You know, I said it as I did it, but at the same time, it's very hard to try and replicate that behavior. Sort of going off gut feel after yesterday's loss, I'm just trying to sort of make up a bit of lost time, really. Moving a bit quicker, that kind of thing. Look, quite thin volume. This looks like ask orders. I could be wrong, of course. I don't really want to get short though, because look, this close gap, it kind of got rejected. It didn't quite fill it. When it was that close, it should just fill it. But it's like the market says, no, you know, we're not going that low today. So look, we're in a bit of a conundrum here where the market's just right on this previous day's high. Unsure if we'll fill this gap. Yeah, we should do, but if yesterday is anything to go by, we came close to that extreme gap and just moved away the whole day. So yeah, a bit hesitant after yesterday's erroneous trades. Did you guys get in and have a trade as well? Are you watching the DAX, or are you trading something else, or just while we wait for this market to navigate into a better position to trade? And that's the thing with trading is our job is basically to provide liquidity and push the market to where it should be trading. So that's kind of the whole idea of trading. It goes up, it goes down. We try and fill any inefficiencies that we can see. If I didn't have sort of risk on the table and risk wasn't a thing, I'd be tempted to get short on the basis of the analysis. But it's just not worth it, I think. There we go, and it's kind of pushing through here. I think, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm not getting in because obviously I don't think it will happen. And there we go, we've pushed through. Probably go a little bit higher. Look, if we can get up to the breakout long and see some volume activity, really thin volume, followed by a big ask order, that might tell us that we're going down. But here we go, we're getting soaked up a little bit. We'll see if it holds. Yeah, that's great. Are you still long? Because look, I think this is probably going to keep going, but you know, with all these levels in the way, I'm not confident. Not confident either direction at present. Just put it that way. We really need the market to move quite a bit and give us a better opportunity. Sometimes the depth of market goes really wide as well. So just if it does that, just drag it back in so you have a bit more chart to play with. So really just waiting it out, waiting. Look, I'm not sure that this market will fill this gap. I think it's just sort of faking it out a bit. Still very even trading. But for me, I'm not going long or short right now. Look, up $121 for today. It's not too bad. The max I can make is 450 with the 30% rule with Apex Trader funding. So I might probably call it there actually, and I'll jump in the Discord a little bit later if I see any changes, and I'll just jump in there and sort of let you know what I'm up to. But at the moment, I'm just not trading, so I'll call it today. Best of luck with your trading, Christopher. Thanks so much for joining again, mate. I hope the trade goes well. Look, I think, the market, the DAX is such a bullish market, so I prefer to go long. If we can pull back, I'll get long, but just from here, it's I don't like these levels being there. All right, guys, thanks for joining again. I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow.